What's crazy about the word manifestation is that if you look up the etymology of it, it has a lot to do with revelation, to reveal. And even from a spiritual sense, it is the revelation or the uncovering of spirit. And from many other senses, it just all has to do with uncovering or revealing. And so manifestation has less to do with doing and more to do with revealing, uncovering, recognizing what is. And with manifestation, what is that your intentions, your feelings, your actions are linked to the creation of reality. And your recognition of manifestation is your recognition of the connection. It is you realizing the pattern that is creating. So I got a question here. What is your opinion on manifesting a specific person? What is the correlation between higher ethereal self and manifestation? Okay, two good questions. So could we get some clarity on this tomorrow on manifesting a specific person? Because I'm not sure with your spelling. It says "an specific person." So just elaborate a little bit more on what you're talking about that. I'll get to this other question, which is, what is the correlation between higher ethereal self and manifestation? That is what manifestation's doing, is it's revealing to you the connection that you are your greater, grander self. You are connected to reality. It's not so much a doing as it is you recognizing that you are being reality. So when you talk about a greater version of self, you mean an expanded version of yourself. It means that all is self. We're breathing in the air, we're taking the minerals from the earth, we're absorbing the same light from the sun. We are a creation, we are participating, we are everything that we can see around us. We are this greatness, this vastness, this godliness of the universe. We are reality itself. We are nature. Manifestation is the recognition, the realization of that. So the question, what is the correlation between higher ethereal self and manifestation? Manifestation is realizing your, not just connection, but your fullness of self. You are your higher, grander self, which is everything. How to match actions with reality if you don't have the tools. This one's an amazing one. For example, they're saying that the tool is money. So how to match your actions with reality if you don't have the tools, for example, money. Money can be looked at as a tool, but it's not the only tool. Money is mostly a limit if you feel like it is the only route to what you have. In fact, I would encourage everybody to recognize that a lack of money is the reason. It is the reason for you to recognize the opportunity there. Because without money, that means that creativity is necessary. It means that awareness is necessary. It means that you get to discover a solution. These are supposed to be pumping in hydrogen into my eyes, but they're pumping in water, which straight into the eyeballs is not very comfortable. Somehow some got into my mouth. So if you're at a state where you don't have money and you feel like you cannot create, you cannot manifest, that's what you're creating. You're manifesting, you're recognizing your limited ability, you're recognizing your lack, you're recognizing your want, and you're securing yourself in a reality. You're manifesting a reality where you have lack, where you have no money, where you have no perceivable opportunity. And that same exact position is the starting place for so many people that rose from that position into a state of abundance, a state of harmony, a state of self-love. That is a very good starting place for that. So just you can recognize and manifest more lack, more sadness, more pain, more confusion, or you can recognize the beauty of the launch pad that you're at and the lessons that are ahead of you, the ability for you to build yourself from this position. It's the perfect place to be. What is the time to let go after you set your goals? The time to let go after you set your goals there's no reason to ever hold on to it. So being attached to something, holding on to something like this, means that you're afraid that something else is going to happen. And that alone puts you in the opposite state of flow. And so think about it from a God perspective. Do you think that you would hold on to things like, I hope it works. I hope it works, because if it doesn't work, I'm going to be in trouble. And so the way that this question is stated is that you're like this, and you're asking, when is it okay to not be like that? And I'm saying you should just, like, the invitation is to never be like that. Look at your reality now, accept it. And so if you're unable to do that, if you're unable to be like, it's okay as it is now, then you're never going to get to a reality where it's okay. If you're in a position where you hate and you're fearful of your current position, changing an environment doesn't change that feeling. You take that feeling with you. And so within your current environment, we get to find love. So for instance, if you hate your car, you're going to always hate your car and probably hate the clothes that you can afford. Or let me rephrase that. You're going to hate your clothes, and you're going to find the reason why you hate your clothes is because you cannot afford other clothes. But the point is that you hated your clothes to begin with, so you're going to continue manifesting a reality where you're revealing to yourself the reasons why you hate your clothes that you have. And it's because you can't afford better clothes, but it's really the choices within you. And when you start to bring harmony to your life, it's a paradox, because then you don't actually ever need anything else, which is what I was saying. From a God perspective, there is no lack. They are okay now, and that makes them continuously okay with their life. And the reason why we look around and we say, I would rather have that, 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 is because we're just not okay with now. Be okay with now, and that gives you the greatest amount of power to make the decisions. Decision means, from an etymological standpoint, decision means to cut off, to release more attachment. You don't need this thing. You don't need this thing. You start releasing more attachment. You become detached. And then you have ultimate freedom to make your choices, your decisions. You more cut off. And then you end up in a reality that is completely in even more harmony with you, because you're used to being in harmony. You are well practiced at harmony. You know what it feels like. Great question. Manifestation and karma. Are we born into certain circumstances, and how can we change our path? Are we born into certain circumstances, and how can we change our path? And once again, it goes into It's not the path that changes, it's you. You change. All paths are available to you, but you're carrying with you your own internal dialogue about what the path means to you, and you will not feel into a different path unless you are able to harmonize with self. And once again, power is increased through that. With power, less force is needed, and you will find beautiful, blissful harmony within your current path. And it is you that changes, and everything around you will start to harmonize with you. It starts with you. A new path. If it's not that the question is irrelevant. I'm not saying the question is irrelevant. I'm saying let's rethink about how we ask the question. It's not about forcing change of the path. It's not about getting into a new path. The paths mold around you. You guys know this. If there's going to be a new opportunity, let's just think about it from a third dimensional standpoint. Like, let's think about it as if you do change the paths. How does that happen? It changes because you change. You get introduced to a person who sees value in you, and you get presented a new opportunity and you say yes to it, and now you're on a different path, right? How did that happen? It happened because you became more fun to hang out with, more trustworthy, and then somebody was like, hey, I'll introduce you. I trust you enough to bring you to this networking event, or I trust you enough to bring you with me to this event, or I trust you enough to drive with me on a road trip for 3 hours and hang out all day. And during that time, you get introduced to this person's friends, and then that opportunity gets presented to yourself. Why? Because you changed as a person, and the people around you start to trust you more, start to be able to rely on you, feel more interested to present more opportunities to you. But either way, if you're going to try and force it, or if you're going to go with what I'm saying, which is just be the change within yourself, be within harmony no matter what within your life. If you're with a bad partner, if your car's broke, if you don't have a job, how can you find harmony within that? Where is the abundance? Where is the abundance if you get fired from your job? Are you able to look at it as, wow, I have a lot more time. I can start doing the things that I felt like I should be doing, like maybe self-educating. I can start reading a book a week. Like maybe that's been something on your heart. You don't realize that you've created, you've manifested, you've uncovered this reality where now that you can do that. Or maybe you want to go in some rabbit holes on YouTube, or maybe reconnect with a parent, a child. It doesn't always have to be what we fear. We're going to always experience things from a state of fear first. Am I safe? That's how the body works. We process it in our lower centers. Am I safe? Do I need to run away from this? And then we go into like a higher chakra level. Am I motivated to act within here? What does this feel like in the heart? Am I speaking my truth here? What does this mean? So recognize that we're always going to go into a state of fear. Oh my gosh, I don't have any more money because I'm not getting the paycheck that I'm addicted to. And just try to see a few steps beyond that. You can still feel that. That's necessary. And you can say, okay, I'm safe. I've been here before. Humans throughout all of history have not had jobs and they somehow survive. So what's next? What can I do here? How do I feel? Is there a way to make me feel better in this position? What would I like to project into this situation? Is there some things that I can arrange with my voice here? Maybe there has been something I haven't been speaking about. And then, what does this mean? How can I find harmony within this? And as I said, as you're able to do that, you're going to start trusting yourself, and the people around you are going to start trusting yourself. Who do you think makes influence in this reality? People that others can trust to get things done. The ones that are able to go through this process. Those are the ones that are reliable to do things. I think I have limiting beliefs that may be blocking me. I'm not sure if I do, though. What do you suggest for overcoming limiting beliefs that may be blocking me from manifesting? That's a good question. You seemed very confused. So this is what we talk about, like doing the work. Is you're very unclear. I think I have limiting beliefs, but I'm not sure if I do. Like, just that statement alone is kind of like you're unclear. So the first step is to be aware. So hopefully the things that I'm saying gives you some ideas and some clarity of where you can start analyzing and feeling. So analyzing with the mind, feeling with the body and the emotions, and start giving yourself some clues on if you are limiting yourself or you just have a story that you're limiting yourself. When is the time to let go after you set your goals? I already answered that, didn't I? Oh yeah. How did I get way up here in the questions? All right. Not sure if my question has been missed. What do you suggest for overcoming limiting beliefs if you're not sure what they are? All right, so I just answered that. Can I answer that more? Overcoming limiting beliefs if you're not sure what they are. Stop focusing on the limiting beliefs. Just stop it. There's no reason to focus on your limits. We're so obsessed as a conscious, as a spiritual, as a self-help community. We're so obsessed with discovering our shadow, discovering our brokenness so that we can find something to heal about. Okay, I get that that's a stage and it's an important stage. It's not the end goal though. Everyone that's stuck in healing is going to be obsessed and addicted to healing before they realize that this is yet a stage that you go through. I went through it 25 years ago. That's why I started going to school for psychology, because I was like, there's some things inside of me that I don't really understand, so I'm going to go figure it out in college. And I recognized that they didn't even teach me a single thing about how to operate this system. So I quit buying textbooks and I started pirating. This is back in like LimeWire? I forget those pirating softwares, Napster and things. I started pirating seminars like as a 17, 18, 19-year-old and reading and getting into the mechanics of the body, but it was more about how to operate it at a better level, how to optimize. So once you guys get through the addiction and the program of you need to be healed because you're broken, you're going to then realize like, okay, I can stand up on my 2 feet. Now how high can I fly? Okay, let's not get obsessed with being broken and not being able to walk and being immobile. You guys all are strong enough, powerful enough to be flying to greater heights. That's a more interesting question to be asking is, where can I go from here? So don't even worry about the limits. You can skip that for now. It'll come up. It's going to come up quicker for you. It's going to reveal itself if you try flying. Then you're going to be like, oh crap, I have a broken wing over here and now I'm smashing on the ground. Thank you, Ra. Now I understand where my limits are. And that's all funny because it's all a paradox. I'm saying one thing, but the opposite's also true. And it's amazing because that's how life is. So that's my advice is go for it and slam yourself on the face. And then it'll definitely reveal itself to you. How to manifest specific person then? Feeling the feel of being with them and staying and just stay in that state, right? No. So when you start intending on raping reality, if your intention is to rape reality, meaning you don't give others free will, you wish to impose your agenda onto somebody else, then you really are raping yourself. Reality is going to throw you around and take advantage of you if that's what you're looking to do to somebody else. Harmony, detachment, permission. Remember those words when you're talking about a specific person. Your intention, I would like to say must be, but it doesn't need to be anything. But if you are seeking harmony within self, then please seek harmony within another. And trying to force somebody else to be with you is similar to rape. So imagine that this etherical realm, this non-physical realm, is not mystical and magical. If you're raping somebody there, and I'm not saying you're raping them, but if they're not with you and you're looking to create a reality where they're with you, try to release attachment, because it might not be them. But what are the attributes of this person that you desire? And being detached with a specific person, but more attached to the specific attributes and the specific way that they speak to you, that they call you, is going to allow you to be more aware of what about them do you desire. And that's going to get you more in line. And here's another paradox, more in line with that part of yourself. You're going to recognize that maybe you've been there's some holes in yourself that you are looking for this person to fill. And so when you start to fulfill them within yourself, you become detached to needing this specific person. But the paradox is that detachment and that fulfilled sense of self that you have is going to be more of a match for this person than you are now as a broken person looking for them to fill up. And also, there's going to be a better option out there available to you. So it all comes back to self. Try not to get so attached to manipulating reality, because reality is a projection of self. So use your sense of lack, use what you're attracted to as an indicator of exploration in self. How can you fulfill yourself so that you're not feeling like there's a missing part of you that's going to get fulfilled in a specific reality, a specific person, a specific job, a specific car, a specific experience? How can you create that within yourself now, within your environment? And that's going to put you more in line with that reality, with that car, with that job, with that purpose, with that specific person. If it's like just getting them is the easy way that we are all used to getting. But guess what? When you fulfill yourself with a reality, with a job, with a car, with a person, with the purpose, and you're not yet at that level, when that job, reality, car, when all of that recognizes that you're not a match and they leave, now you're ripped in half again. And you're now seeking for a new car, a new job. Like now you're seeking for something else that can fulfill you, probably even more, because you're even more broken, less trusting. And you're looking for an even stronger drug to fulfill you. When you get to look at the gaps and the holes within yourself and bring the fun, whatever it is that you see in that person, the freedom, the smile, the how they see the world, bring that into yourself, then you're a match for people like that. And now it's not just a partner that's like that, but you have a company that you own where everyone who works there is like that because you're like that. What is the most important step to manifest your dream life? Back to what I was saying in the beginning, manifestation is not something, it's not something that you do. Manifestation from etymological standpoint is a recognition. It is an uncovering of what it already is. It is a being. It's a state of being manifesting. And so the most important step is to recognize that state of being. Brilliant. You're amazing. I appreciate you. Thank you. That sounded like ho'oponopono. I mean, I know it's different, but it's just kind of like how I said it. Believing, predeciding. That means cutting things off. Do you have a powerful practice to change limiting beliefs? Something that I haven't said before. And I'm way behind on the questions, guys, so I might be answering questions that were commented like 20 minutes ago. Let me see if I can quickly answer some of these. Do I have a powerful practice to change limiting beliefs? Yes. Meditate on what if they're true. What if it's true and you cannot change it? How would your life be? Be okay with that and then move on. Because a lot of the things that we fear, we're not even fearing the thing. We're fearing the fear. What if this happens? Not even realizing that if it happens, it's not even a big deal. So meditate on what if it were true. How would you move forward? And then move forward. Odds are the thing is never going to happen, but if it is, you already know that it's not that bad. And now you've disabled, you've taken away the paralysis of that fear. The only reason why you fear it is because you don't know what it's going to be like, and so you don't want to step forward into that uncomfortable zone. Step forward into it. Go beyond just meditating, like actually do the thing that you fear, and you realize that it's not so bad, or you actually gain a new skill. How about enduring to the things, jobs that you don't love 100% in the process? Or should we just follow the things we enjoy and love doing 100%? Well, if you don't know how to love your life now 100%, how are you going to love anything else 100%? You have created your current reality because you love it 100%, even if it's uncomfortable, even if you're like, there's no way I created a parent that lies to me. There's no way that I created this car accident. There's no way that I created falling off a cliff and breaking my back. Yes, you did. Figure out how that happened, how that's serving you, how you intended on doing that. That's really difficult for people to hear. We all have scenarios, every single one of us, that we're like, it's way easier to blame that, no, it's I'm a victim to this random scenario that has everything to do with another person or another thing, that I was just an innocent bystander. Well, if that's true, good luck on manifesting or uncovering your harmony or control. Control is a strong word, but if that's the mindset that you're going to be, you can't go from there to creation. They're in opposition. So you get to choose. Are you a victim or are you a creator? You can't be both. Can't be a victim today and a creator tomorrow. It doesn't happen. You don't go from like victimhood to creator. No, you go from creator replaces victimhood first. You harmonize with what you've created and realize that you were never a victim. And then you created your current reality. You're thankful for everything that happened there because it is an aspect of your creation. It allowed you to be exactly as you needed to be, to progress within this life. This is up for you to determine. And from there, you move on with that. And again, it's a paradox. It's a caveat. Not really caveat. It's a paradox because when you're there, you don't actually need to move on. Right? Like there's not going to be an attachment to move on when you come to a state of love and harmony with your current situation. However, that's the only way to move on from it. It's amazing how it works. What are you guys talking about? How to manifest healing. I suffer in depression and chronic pain. Yes, you will continue to. You will. Can you write a different sentence? Besides suffering and depression and chronic pain, what else is there in your life? Depression means that the pressure of reality is too hard and you do not express yourself. Expression is the exact opposite word of depression. Depression means press down or in. Expression means to press up or out. What are you lacking expression in? Instead of calling yourself depressed, are you able to recognize that you are not expressing yourself where? Fill in the blank. Now you get to learn how to express yourself in the areas of your life that are going to push out into reality, stretch you out. That word depression won't even exist because it just won't exist. You will not be depressed. Great questions. Even if it feels like I'm kind of like rewriting your question, my intention isn't to make you feel any certain way, and I don't know if I am. It's just, I really appreciate the questions, and I am answering them all from a different perspective. So I'm actually agreeing with the questions. Like the last question was, I am depressed. Yes, you are. You definitely are. So I'm agreeing with the question, and then I'm shifting a perspective. Are you able to look at it a different way? And so for a lot of people that may feel like, and I'm not saying it is for everyone, but that may feel like I'm dismissing the question. I'm dismissing it. I'm saying it doesn't matter. I'm not dismissing it. It will feel like I'm dismissing it because I'm not answering it in the way that it's asked. So it's just a feeling of dismissing, because I'm not meeting you at the perspective that you asked the question. I'm shifting the question over, and I'm saying, is the question even relevant from this other perspective? Take this other perspective. We don't need to answer questions that do not serve us. 90% of the battle is asking different questions, because the questions that we ask is from a mindset that created the problem that we're in. So we're asking questions with the same mindset that created the problem. It takes somebody else to say, that's not the right question. You're asking a question that serves what you think you're trying to get out of, but you're actually still ruminating in this victim mentality. When do you know what you want to do in your life? Again, this is a great example. When do you know what you want to do in your life? Why is that important? What aspect of that is important? Because to me, that just seems like you're securing the fact that you're not doing what you want to do. You're just recognizing that. You're pointing your finger and saying, like, I don't feel secure in what I'm doing. Why not just feel secure in what you're doing now? And then as you gain that practice, it's a skill to feel passionate, to feel like you're getting up in the morning, you're doing something important. And when you earn that skill, just like you earn a fit body by going to the gym, you earn the skill of purpose. Purpose isn't given to you because you're doing a certain thing. You earn purpose because you've learned to tell yourself a story about why you're passionate about what you're doing, no matter what you're doing. And once you earn purpose, you can then apply that to anything. And you will not be asking yourself, what do I want to do in life? Because it's not this. You won't, because you've learned to be purposeful in everything that you do. Again, amazing question. I love the question. How to deal with fear when... Great question. I don't even know what it is yet. How to deal with fear when starting a business because it's been holding me back for about 2 years. Recognize that the business is just going to be a step and that you're going to eventually be sick of the business that you have yet to create, and it's going to be the greatest day in your life when you close it. Start the freaking business because it's just the step that you're eventually going to be now feeling, how do I get rid of this business? It's too stressful. I don't like it. I didn't know enough to know what I know now, and now it's not serving me. Get through it already. Your business that you create today, you're going to be desiring escaping in 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years down the line. It's not going to be serving you. Think about it. There's no way that what you create with your 22-year, I don't know how old you are, but 22, 32, 42-year-old mind is not going to serve the 62, 72, 82 version of yourself. That person is not going to think that it's cool to make candles all day and sell them on Etsy. It's going, again, I'm not saying that's what your business is, but just as an example, it's really cool to do that, and it's going to serve the purpose of somebody, but your 30-year-old later version of self is not going to think that's cool. So while you're sitting here just delaying the inevitable of starting the business and moving through it like a cycle, there's a birth cycle of everything, including our career paths, including our businesses. You're just delaying the inevitable cycle of creation, where you birth something, you live it, it starts to die, and you release it. You're just staying before pre-birth, and it's just preventing that. Get through the cycle already. Same thing as if you're in a career or in a job, and you're delaying the death cycle of that because you're afraid of what's going to happen. Realize that it's natural for things to cycle. We literally cycle every single year with the seasons. We cycle every single day with the sunrise, the sun day, the sunset, the nighttime. That's a cycle of life, death, rebirth, and living. I left that out. But everything that we do, even our breath, the inhale, the exhale, we're cycling things all the time. Do not hold your breath. Do not be paralyzed. Move forward into it. And recognize that this is just something I'm doing now. This is an experiment. This is an experience. This is not a end-all, be-all what I'm going to be doing for the rest of my life. Because if you put that level of pressure on yourself, that's going to be very stressful. And you might paralyze yourself. And you want it all to be perfect, and you never ever do it because of that. You just go to the grave thinking about the things that you wish you would have done. I really appreciate these questions, guys. I really do. They're amazing. How to reach one's full potential, especially if I don't know for sure what I want. Here we go again. If not sure, is thing what I want, really thing what I need. Really the thing. All right, I just answered that about 5 minutes ago with the person that was talking about not being sure if or not knowing what they want to do in life. So it's the same answer. Bro, what are you wearing? These are some goggles that put hydrogen, they hydrogenate the atmosphere. I don't know what this machine's called. Tech Pro 900. Yes, that is good advice. Thank you. Thank you for asking. How to get more in touch with my intuition. Intuit. Intuition. Intuit. A verb. It's a intuition. It's a proclamation of being in it. To guide me better through life. How to get more in touch with my intuition. Touch it. This is a great question. Look at the way that it's worded. How to get more in touch with my intuition to guide me better through life. Great question. Go in reverse. Once again, it's everything that I've been saying. Look at your current reality. Recognize how You created all of it. Look around your room. Look outside. Look where you are. There were decisions that you made. There were choices that you made that allowed you to create that. And there was an intuition. There was a, what do they call it in the animal world? I can't think of it. Why can't I think of it? Like, anyways, it's a word that is like the easiest word. I'll think about it in a second. But you must trust how you got here. And then once you recognize that, then you can see in the present moment how that's going to create your future. Everything starts in the present moment. And so you can look in the past and recognize your creation of the past, and that's going to bleed into the past and the future and now. And you're going to be more in touch with reality. Have you looked into ancient Greek? Yes, but I look into everything, not really that deeply. Please answer my question. Appreciate your time. I don't know what that means. I'm scrolling through questions, so I'm answering them all. If you had stage 4 cancer, what would you say or do to get rid of it? Start thanking all the people that you hate. Start enjoying life. Release your attachment. Release your fear. And start enjoying yourself. And that's step 1. None of us are staying here forever. Okay, none of us. And so if it's your time, and it's perfect as it is. So release the fight. And then from there you can go on and look at, is it parasites? Is it fascial restriction? Is it energy that's blocked in myself? If it's in my throat, am I constricting my voice? If it's in the breast area or in the heart area, like, am I not open here? If it's in the head, am I thinking negatively constantly about myself, about reality? Like, you can go into the energetic realm. You can go into, like I said, parasites, fascia, even, like, open up the fascia so that more energetic flow can come through the body. You can look at your diet. You can look at how you're interacting with the elements of nature. You can start looking at EMF. You can start looking at the poisons you're maybe overlooking in your house with cleaning supplies or filtered water, or the food that you're consuming. Look at your relationships. Are those poisoning you? But first, my first step is to be okay with yourself and whatever happens, because you're taking yourself with you whether you have the body or not. We don't get to keep this body. The more that we hold on to it, the more fear, the more hate for our current situation, the weaker we're going to be. We're going to infuse powerlessness into our being. So gain that power back first before you do anything, and then move forward from that standpoint. All right. Amazing question. Thanks for taking me there. Frame fictional just to point to a feeling. What would you tell someone? All right, this is the same question about the stage 4 cancer. Hola, novelty producing it. What would you? Okay, same question. I'm definitely. Morton, what's up? Wow, the doors just opened. Guys, look at this. That's a Swedish ocean right there. We're in Sweden. Instinct. I'm just going through the questions, seeing if I left anything behind. And I got 2. How do you enjoy abundance while not being attached to it always? Also, great question. How to enjoy abundance with not being attached to it always. You see abundance even when you didn't have what you're considering abundant now. So whether it's money, whether it's time, whether it's freedom, even if you didn't have those, how would you still be enjoying abundance? And then once again, paradox, you always get to be in it no matter what, and you're not scared, which is going to rip it from your hands the moment you become scared and you try to grip onto it. It dissolves. You guys know what I'm talking about. When you get something and you hold it tighter than it should be held, it leaves you. Fear can be helpful if it lifts you from a lower frequency. Apathy, shame, depression. That's a more complicated conversation. Yes, there's levels, but the moment we put levels into it, we kind of start looking at it as a ladder. And it's mostly how we talk about it, even myself, but really it's all an aspect of the same spectrum. And something like fear is just a state of being that is missing safety. And so fear is really just an expression of yourself longing for or wanting safety. And so with safety, fear becomes love again. It becomes whole. It becomes the greatest version of yourself. Same thing with depression. I mentioned expression. So it's about linking. It's not about like getting rid of anger or not being angry, but it's like, where can you find the harmony? Where's the missing gap that you can infuse into yourself to diffuse it back to light, back to love, back to full energy? Because if we're inharmonious, meaning that there's parts of the spectrum that are missing, just like light on our phones is missing light that the full sun has, or light coming in a window is missing the light because the light's broken and it becomes inharmonious to the body, we must then go outside and receive the full spectrum sunlight. Are you able to go outside with your emotions several times during the day or the week so that you're not just encapsulated with the emotion of fear or anger or even things like guilt or even on the higher spectrum, joy, and it's just all about recognizing within yourself what you're missing so that you can fulfill yourself and bring yourself into a whole human being. And that's our responsibility. That's our responsibility here. As you do that, you will complete us, because we're all here together. We're all here as one. Bye, everybody.